Let's start with this one. You devoted a good portion of your presentation drawing our attention to the personal vision statement, really scrutinizing it, its components. Is the suggestion, Greg, that without a personal vision statement, greatness cannot be achieved? It seems to suggest that. Help us understand that.
Well, I would say that it's not that it can't be achieved, but what I'm trying to distinguish are what an individual needs to do to reliably and consistently, more reliably and more consistently produce the experience of greatness.
Mhm.
And I am saying that in order to more reliably and more consistently produce that it makes sense to create that personal vision statement, and that personal vision statement has the various characteristics that I've described. That in doing that it will give you a leg up and leave less to chance, if you will. It'll be another one of the building blocks. Think of it as a foundational building block to creating this experience of shared value and contribution, this experience of greatness.
The personal vision statement, Greg, we're assuming that it needs to be expressed consistently across your resume, your LinkedIn profile, any marketing materials. Talk to us about that. Is it something that you, as an executive search consultant, for example, do you perceive greatness in executive candidates when you encounter such statements across their materials? How do you discern greatness from a piece of paper or a profile?
Yeah, great question. And I think that if we take this kind of recipe that I've outlined, clearly one of the ways in which you can bring that into existence as well, and that would be like a whole other master class on taking, which by the way would be fine if you're interested, would be taking this outline of greatness and making certain that it is represented within your resume and within your LinkedIn profile. And I'll even take it one step further. If you think of individuals who are going to be interviewed for a position, having done the work to begin to distinguish within your career in the stories that you tell about yourself, that those stories that you're telling about yourself are exemplifying your vision and your values and are pointing to where this experience of greatness has occurred, that will distinguish yourself further in the minds, eyes, ears of the individuals that you are interviewing with, and really differentiate you from many of the other individuals who are going to be in competition with you for senior jobs.
Mm-hmm. Let's stay with that idea of differentiation, and let's consider the personal vision statements you shared by example of the SVP of sales, and I know there was one more, I forget the title.
Yeah,
The
CIO.
point is,
yeah.
okay, the CIO. It strikes some of our listeners today that while those were important statements and akin to what we call personal branding statements, what was missing, it seemed to some of us, was they didn't seem especially unique. Is that important, or I'll say, isn't that important to establish some point of differentiation through your personal vision statement, not simply have one?
Well, I think the question would be unique in what way? These were actual examples by two individuals that had gone through a leadership assessment, leadership development process with me, and then I ended up subsequently coaching. And I could have had a CEO or several CEO visions that I've of individuals that I've worked with as well. I think that the vision is distinct from the mission, and the mission is going to more practically take, and if we look at the example of the CIO, people know they can depend on me and that I deliver what I promise. Yeah, you could say that is generic, and absolutely, it is a general statement. The mission would then be how I am going to deliver on that statement, that people know they can depend on me and that I deliver what I promise. That gets into the specifics of the individual's job and what they're going to be doing on that day-to-day basis, those day-to-day interactions. If you don't do that, what's the point? Nothing's going to happen. Then this is just going to become a statement that is aspirational, that has no bearing in day-to-day existence. But you've got to have that statement someplace. I mean, that vision. I'm saying that it is more powerful to distinguish the two from each other. Mm-hmm. Start with that vision, and then use that vision to back into how you now are going to design what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis to actually implement that vision and bring that vision into practical reality. Okay. But don't mix the two. It's going to be far better for you to have the vision be that vision statement.